Hi all, right back with more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign, so this is my part 19. So it's still the same day, I hope to get this part and maybe sneak another one in, maybe. Hopefully. So where are we? I think we're at the bot's turn. I've got 3 cards left, the bot has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it plays first. However, I've lost. I got a card discarded, didn't I? I got a random discard. However, we do have that KSM card, which is going to be able to draw us 2 cards. So it must be the bot's turn. I've left. I think I also marked that up. That's first card of the bot to play next. Did you have this player? Nothing really to talk about. Jean had made some comment about why he explained how there was a cell in Pakistan at the time he was talking about, and it wasn't in my game, it was in his own game, I think. And he says he comments on this in the previous part. This was mentioned in part 3, previous part was part 2. I can't see any comment regarding a cell there, so I don't know if he's going to come back or whether he forgot or it misplaced the comment or whatever. So it turns out it didn't look like I did have a cell at that time. However, I still believe that I must have done something wrong and forgot about some unused ops points that carried out a radicalisation, because that's what the app tried to do, and it said to travel to Russia with 1 cell, and I think there was a travel somewhere else as well, but anyway, we might find more about that later. But don't get me wrong, I like the app, and probably I'm in the minority in thinking I don't want something to help me operate the bot, because I like trying to do that. The thing is, you're going to be facing more errors because it's a human error over a computer, like dealing with it. So, however, let's move on. Let's play some more. We've got that last part was pretty much full of gameplay, I think. So Prestige took a hit. However, we did stay hard. We've done the regime change, the Gulf states. This is still risky where it is. Like, you can see it eventually going down the soft track, but maybe we might get lucky when it comes to die rolls there as well. Right, we've got our 2-card combo waiting. A 2-card combo and then discard this card, I think. I think that's our last 2 turns, 2 phases. However, will the bot spoil any of that? Because certain events can get in the way of things. Right, so first card it is. Oh, it's oil price spike. Okay, that's interesting. Now it's a 3-op unassociated event. Windfall for the Muslim world. Select, reveal, and draw a card other than oil price spike from the discard pile or a box. Add +1 to the resources of each oil producing country for the turn. This is a lapsing event. Yeah, and there's something about this. If this happens at the end of the game, can you win? You could actually win the game with that, I think. Is that right? Because remember, +1 resources for each of them. So just going back to look at the Gulf states here, which was oil producing, they were getting 3 points for that at the time. That would increase it to 4. So you can see that that card could end the game just like that, I think. I want to say there might be something in the rules about that ending the game, or maybe it's just a comment that, take note, this could end the game. It might well be something like that. Where did I find the victory conditions or whatever? Card play, sequence of play, operations. I'm not finding this. Pause just now then, Grant. Yes, page 2, how to win. Where are we? There we are, right, okay. I'm just looking for any comment on... right, okay, there's a 2.2. This is how to win. Rule 2 and 2.1, 3 ways to win. And then you've got this oil price spike card at 2.2, which it says, in an unlikely event that play of an oil price spike event causes both sides to achieve their victory conditions simultaneously, the side that played the event wins. So there you go. It's unlikely event that both players end up winning, but you could see it being quite likely that somebody could win with just that card coming into play. And increasing all them. And for that matter, do we have any other good countries? Both our good countries aren't oil producing, so their resources are still 2 and 1. So there we go with that one. You can see that if we had got Iraq though, we've tried. We've tried 3 times now. That is oil producing, so that would have gave us another 4 points. 7, but we need something like 12, is it? I think it's 12. Just looking at the US victory conditions again, because it was noted by Tim that these do apply. Apart from the one that doesn't apply is that one. There are no jihadist cells in any countries on the map. That one doesn't apply. The other 2 do though for us. So the US wins instant. That Muslim countries with a total of at least 12 resources have good governance. Yeah, okay. I don't know why that says. I mean, it says it there. There's talk of so in this as well. I'm not quite sure I quite fully understand that. 2 deck solo, minimum good for US 1. 1 deck solo, minimum good for US 1. 3 deck solo, minimum good for US 1. Okay. Does it mention that in the solo rules? It must do. Anyway, we're playing the 3 deck one, so it straight up says 12 resources at good. So we would need 12 as an instant one. Or 15 of the 18 countries. 15 of the 18 Muslim countries have fair or good governance. Highlights it there, 15. Yeah. Okay, so oil price spike. Right. Well, let's. It's playable. Select, reveal, and draw a card other than oil price spike from the discard pile or a box. A box meaning a lapsing event. I can only think that's what that means. Add +1 to the resources of each. Yeah, so that can, and then that then lapses till the end of the turn, giving you that +1. I'm not going to mark. I'm not going to. Well, actually, we don't have any anyway. But I wouldn't increase this while that's in play. Even though that if it did increase to 12 here, we would just win the game. But I'm not going to increase that if we happen to have that while that's in play, because that might just throw me, I think. Let's see what the event table says for 117 then first. Right, so there is some stuff here. So 117, it's 117, 118. Now remember, we must have played 118 card because we drew that way back at the beginning of the game when the door was closed event was in play. That stopped any non-US event to be playable. It prevented the event from being playable anyway, and that's why the oil price spike didn't happen. However, this time it has. So it says draw highest ops jihadist associated. Yeah, so we're going to look in the discard pile for the highest. So we're going to look for a 3 op jihadist card, jihadist associated card, and then we're going to select randomly among the possibilities. It says, if event would trigger US instant win, instead treat as unplayable. Clearly, yeah. So if we were going to win right now, it's not going to play that event. Fair enough. Well, we're not going to win, so it is going to play the event. It is playable. Select randomly among possibilities. Okay. So these cards that I've got set aside, though, are part of this as well. We've got a big pile of discards there. The ones up the back have been removed. So when it says remove, my assumption is that it does just say the discard pile here, doesn't it? Yeah. Discard pile or a box. Like I say, these are lapsing event boxes. There's 2 of them. Whether you can have more than 2 lapsing events, I dare say you could. So my take is that you could take one of them as well. I've got these cards set aside. These are the ones that I've got events in play. But if any of these say remove, that's removed, that's removed. Now see, Fata there is not removed. So that would be in the discard pile technically. And then NATO is, but however, NATO's a US card, so it's not one that, right? However, Fata can be considered in the discard pile for this purpose. So I'm going to put that in there as well. Well, yeah, we're just going to look through this discard pile and find all the 3 ops. Now, surely the card can't go back on top. Surely it needs to be shuffled in, you would think. Yeah, I might need to look at that. It didn't say anything in the event instructions. I kind of thought it might have said something there. Right, so let me look through this big pile of discards and see how many cards we've got. Right, so there's quite a bunch of cards. You can see the pile there. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. There's 12 of them. I noticed there was a copy there, the martyrdom operation. So there's 12 cards. So we have to select one randomly. They're all 3 cost. Okay, just looking at US election, there was the next card. But that's if the jihadist bot played it. Right. What it would do is use it for ops, but execute event first, it says. But do not collect reserves. Okay. Right, so I've given these a shuffle, yeah. Draw highest ops, jihadist associated, select randomly among the possibilities. Right, I'm just going to randomly select a card out of there, right? Okay, rather than try and faff about rolling dice. I gave them a good shuffle. Right, so now hold on. We don't need to look at this, I suppose. It says select, reveal, and draw a card other than oil price spike. Right, I'm going to have a little look. Now, hold on. Well, what about the solo instructions? Yeah, you just think it would say something in the event table there. Because I surely can't just put this back on the top of the deck. I wouldn't have thought. Says, keep the jihadist hand face down on stack. Always play, remove, or add cards from or to the top of the stack. Do not inspect the jihadist hand, even triggered by an event. Instead, see event instructions table. And like I say, I've shuffled up the 12 cards. I've selected one randomly. Technically, I don't know what it is. It can go back and top. In fact, we're going to see it shortly. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of would have thought that this is a time where it would have got shuffled in. Well, maybe not. I mean, they're playing this for the event, and you know, the next card they've got, they could just play. They could go and get the card and then play it. Possibly what you would do, wouldn't it? Let me have a little look on BGG just in case there's something. Okay, the main threads I was finding for oil price spike solo, that's what I typed in. We're all from using the older bot, and they reference 9.6 in the rules, which, as we know, we shouldn't really be looking at. But Grant's going to have a look. It's just because it's talking about individual events, and obviously this is all built into that event table now. But you can see oil price spike. Draw from the discard pile randomly among the highest value jihadist associated event cards. If none is available, use oil price spike for operations only. I mean, how you can find... Well, I suppose if you drew this card, the very first card of the game, there was no discard pile at all, I suppose. Fair enough. It says there, a play note, keeping discarded jihadist associated 3 cost cards, and a separate stack eases implementation of the oil price spike. And yeah, took me a little while to go through that discard pile and find them. But obviously we're not using this, but the bit that I was trying to find is what happens with the card. And there was 2 or 3 that commented that the card just goes on top. So I'm just going to put the card on top. We're going to see it shortly anyway, and I'll put these away. I do need to maybe hunt out the card that was marked. You know what? We'll wait and see what the card is. Well, we're going to see it anyway. Right, what was the one that was marked? Fatah, that was it. Fatah, right. So Fatah can go back in that pile. Not that I probably need them there anyway, and these can go away. Right, we're going to see the card. Right, I forgot to read the event, because we wouldn't have read it the last time, because the event didn't get played. Unless, mind you, at the beginning, was I reading them all? I might have read this before, but let's just have a quick look here. So 117 and 118, oil price spike, 2006, 2008. Muslim countries together possess some 3/4 of the world's oil reserves, while the US alone consumes about 1/4 of the world's oil. A key jihadist allegation against the West is that it exploits the Muslim world's wealth, particularly its oil, through corrupt dictatorial and un-Islamic puppet regimes, and therefore that the United States, in the absence of true Islamist rule, explain the Muslim world's relative poverty despite its oil resources. Under these conditions, any effort to influence the destiny of the Islamic world must pay special attention to those countries in which that oil wealth is concentrated. Right, so we've done the first bit. We've got a card from the discard pile. We're going to add 1 resources for each oil producing country for this turn, and then this is going to lapse. Well, I'll wait until we've drawn their second card. That's that done. So the second card, and this is the one that they randomly chose, so we know this is going to be a 3 ops jihadist card. Right, Kashmir, we've just seen that recently. Ugh. Right, okay. Shift Pakistan 1 box towards adversary and place a sell there, bought by Indo-Pakistani talks. Indo-Pakistani talks is not in play. There's still no cells on the track. So, stop. Let me go back. The jihadist adds 3 points of reserves because this is an unassociated event. So, just almost missed that one. So they get 2 reserves. I mean, technically 3 reserves, but you can only get 2. So, right, and so this is going to be it. This is going to apply. Well, I've already played this event, so I've read the event out. There's no point in me going and reading that again, because it was quite recently, wasn't it? Shift Pakistan 1 box towards adversary and place a sell there. Okay, well, so we're going good adversary now. Does that seem like that is okay? I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Yeah, I guess it can be there. I don't know. I'm trying to sort of work out here how that can make things worse. The fact that it's good. It means we can't do... Yeah, that's coming to me now. It means we can't do things like... I don't think I could disrupt... Well, actually, I can't disrupt there anyway, because Fatah's in play. I want to say, like, because it's adversary, it's going to restrict us, isn't it? Like, so War of Ideas, see, it needs to be neutral or ally Muslim. So we can't do a War of Ideas in there. Disrupt needs to have troops. No. Our country with troops. Non-Muslim country. Non-Muslim country, not Iran. There you go. We've seen Muslim country, not Iran. Non-Muslim country, not Iran. And yet, Iran is not classed as either of those. So, okay, yeah, you keep picking on that one, Grant. Fair enough. If it keeps you happy. I guess because it's such a problem with placing that cell. I went back and forth, and I still got it wrong in the end. So I guess it's annoying me that way. Removing plots is okay. Deploying. Deploying needs to be an ally Muslim country. So we can't move troops into there either. Regime change works, withdraw, and yeah. So it's as for deploying troops and doing war of ideas. And to be honest, the deploying troops, it needs to be ally. Even neutral doesn't work. But okay, well we've done that. So that is both their cards done. That was nice and simple-ish and quick. So this one is lapses till the end of turn. I don't really think it's going to matter. It's not going to cause the game to be ended, but I'll leave it there anyway. And then this just goes in the discard pile again. Okay, there are 2 cards played, so nothing that interfered with our 2-card combo here. Which is, now let's get it right, there's no cells on the track, that doesn't matter, Grant. Place the cell to double plot markers. Yeah, okay, so, well, you're going to use, I'm going to play Martyrdom Operation for the ops, obviously. I can't play the event anyway, but the event is going to trigger. Ah, yeah, okay. Sorry, I was like panicking there thinking that because we had regime change there, that's nothing to do with that, Grant. So play if a non-Islamist rule country has a cell. There's plenty of options. It wants to, when we come down to it, it wants to in fact, no, the event table says if it can remove a cell in the US, it's going to do it. What card is it again? 89. Use plot priorities table. Sorry, it doesn't tell us US here. That was the video, US jihadist videos. So it says use plot priorities table. But when we look at, I mean, that just directly says use a plot priorities table. So it doesn't come here for that. Certainly there is the plot, this is the priorities table, and that's the plot column. So if it does want you to go here first, you know, because, I mean, we're not doing a plot though, and I think this is why it skips here. If we were doing a plot, we would have to come here, but we're not doing a plot, we're just placing 2 plot markers, or replacing the cell with 2 plot markers, and that's probably why it says to come directly here. And then the first step in plot is US. So if we can do it in the US, we're going to do it in the US. You can see we've got a cell in the US. I'm not going to read this event out as well because we played one of these already and it wasn't that long ago as well. Play if an anonymous who has a cell, so I'm going to play this. No, hang on. You're playing this for the ops, Grant. The thing is, I could do the event first anyway. Does it matter? Replace the cell with any 2 available plot markers. You know what? It doesn't. Oh, well, hang on. Because I'm then going to have a cell on the track. But that's not going to matter. We're playing the other one for the event anyway. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do the event first here, right? So that's my first card play. I've got 3 ops to play with. We're going to replace this cell. So that goes back to the funding track. So they now do have access to 1 cell. And we're going to replace it with 2 of the plot markers. I'm going to roll from 1 to 6 to get the first one. We've got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take that one. And then I'll re-roll a 6 here. And that's a 6. Oh my gosh. Oh, waste all these 6s. Right, 3. Where are we? So 1, 2, 3. So that's the 2 that we're going to take. To be honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because I'm going to just go put them back. Yeah, so they get placed face down. And to be honest, I'm just going to put them back in there. I'm not going to have looked at them anyway. Because with my next event. So they 2 go in there. Oh, and you also forgot that you do need to place a Cadres in there, don't you? That's not a Cadres. Because it was removed by event, that cell. Okay, so there is a Cadre there and then the 2 plots. Right, so now I've got 3 ops to play with. So, I mean, I still can do the disrupt in there. Which I might well just do. What else do you want to go? I mean, I've got 3 ops. So you're kind of wasting an op there. It's not that I get to go and radicalise with it. Shouldn't you maybe try and make most of the fact that you've got 3 then? I don't know, maybe War of Ideas in one of the poor countries. I don't really see the need for that. And ideally I want to try and get these cells out of there so that I can then, well, that's the thing, you are trying to get that to good. But I want to try and boost my War of Ideas Dyro modifiers up. Maybe get an aid in there, but then you get an aid in there by rolling the dice, Grant, don't you? The fact that we're converted to good right now, we're going to get a -1 on the die roll for War of Ideas in Iraq. So maybe we should just hold off on that, try and work on this. And when the War of Ideas happens in here, we're adjacent to a good country, so that helps. Yeah, I think I'm just going to chuck, because I'm getting to draw 2 more cards here as well. So there is a chance that I could do 3 different disrupts before the end of the turn, getting rid of all the cells and boosting my prestige back up to 7 into the +1 War of Ideas high range. So, and I can't really think, I mean, I don't need to alert the pots because we've got a plan for that with the next card play. Don't need regime change. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do a disrupt in the Gulf states. So target non-Muslim country with at least a non-Muslim country, not Iran, ally, well it is an ally, or a country with at least 2 troops, and the 2 troops matter here because we get to affect 2 cells and add +1 prestige. So here it's here. If 2 plus troops, it affects 2 cells and add +1 prestige. Affected cells go active, or if already active are removed. If no cells removed, Cadres. If last cell removed, place Cadres. Right, okay. And remember, this isn't a die roll this time. So we're going to use our 3 ops. And remember, we need at least 2 ops for it because it's a fair country. And we're going to disrupt, so I'm going to take 2 of these cells away. They will go back on the track as sleeper cells. So that's them got 3 now. So we're going to start seeing some recruiting again, I think. And because it was 2 troops there, we get a bump to our prestige up to 5. Okay, that's the event taken care of. That's the ops taken care of. So for our second card, we're going to play this for the event, KSM. Right, and yeah, we're going to play that for the event. So let's see what it talks about. 116. Right, KSM 2003. Sensationally nabbed in Pakistan, alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was photographed for the world in a dishevelled state immediately after his capture, symbolising an apparent laying low of the once mighty Al-Qaeda. According to his US captors, he later provided information that thwarted other attacks. Okay, so playing for the event, KSM, pot mastermind. US may play if any pot's an ally or non-Muslim countries. We've got a pot in a non-Muslim country. And we're going to reveal and remove them and then draw 2 cards. Right, I'm not going to reveal them because it just means I'm going to shuffle them up again. So I'm going to take these 2 pots, I'm just going to put them back in the available pots box because we didn't look at them anyway. So we've removed them. Now there is still that Cadre there, but so be it. And then we're going to draw 2 cards, which is going to be nice. So 1, 2. Let's see what we get. I get a 1 ops 1, which not what I wanted. However, it's unassociated +1. Well, actually, it's giving you +1 prestige. +1 prestige sets Serbia to the opposite of US posture. So it's got a bit of good and a bit of bad. That's going to give me a penalty if I play that for the event. Right, kind of hoping for 2 ops here. Here's the next one. Oh, jings. Quagmire. So Jihad has 3 ops. Play if prestige medium or low. And a regime change country has a cell. Yeah, there is a regime change country with a cell, the Gulf States, and our prestige is medium. So this is playable. US randomly discards 2 cards. Playable jihadist events on them happen. US posture is soft. Oh my. US posture is soft. Yeah, that's horrible. Okay, we've got a problem. Oh, that's really annoying. And that Kosovo card's only 1 ops. That is not good. These 2 cards are causing me trouble. Because, I mean, the other card I've got is this, isn't it? And, well, this would be played. Because US is hard. Unless I play that to make it soft. But that doesn't really help me. And this is -1 at prestige. Search it. Oh, my. If this had been a 2 ops, that it still wouldn't. Now it might have done. Oh yeah, I tell you what, it would have done. If this had been 2 ops, we would have got away with it. Because what we would have done was just do what we've done just there, disrupt in Gulf States, bump that up to 6, then play Quagmire as my second card for the ops. Well, clearly for the ops, because jihadist card. Play the ops first. Use the 2 ops to boost this, to remove the last 2 cells in Gulf States, give me another prestige into high, and then this is not playable. Play if prestige medium or low, and regime change country as a cell. And I'm assuming, you know, me putting this card down, using it for the ops first, it doesn't then set the game state in right away. I don't think that's not the take I'm having on it anyway. I think this would allow me to, it then checks the game state after I've used my 3 ops. Because that's the purpose. You can do them in the order you want. However, Kosovo is not a 2 ops card. Well, you can still get away with it. But we're going to take a penalty, aren't we? Yeah. I could play this for the event, still giving me the prestige up to 6, and obviously set Serbia opposite of US posture, which is bad, and then do exactly what I said on that, getting it up to 7, then making it unplayable. That's really what I've got to do, isn't it? That's the only way I can do it. Because both the cards are bad. Both the jihadist cards I've got in my hand are bad. So drawing 2 extra cards, not sure that it helped me much there. Okay, well that's me played my 2 cards. This card gets removed because you can see it's removed if it's played for the event as the US player. And then this would just go back in the discard pile. So discard, and that one's removed. Give me a second, stretching up there. Right. Okay. Well, it's their turn, so right. I'm just going to push on. Actually, I'm still feeling the need to play a bit more. Actually, just a couple of minutes break. Hang on. Right, let's push on and let's get this part finished, and then I think I might have to go and take care of a few things. Hopefully, if I get them taken care of quick enough, I can get back for another bit. Hopefully, I'm like wanting to try and get the dogs out, but it's actually chucking it down the day. It's never stopped. So we'll see. Right, so back to jihadist player. First card, Patriot Act. Right, just checking they've got 2 reserves, remember. Well, this is a US card, so they're not going to play this. What would it do for us? The US is not adjacent to any country except Canada. Allows sanctions. Mark and remove. You know, it must be able to help with stuff that. It's not adjacent to any country except Canada. So I suppose moving cells in it from adjacent country, yeah. Anyway, it's not getting played, so what are we doing then? It's 3 ops we're going to get, so they're not going to be interested in the reserves as of yet. So what do we want? We want the flow chart. Okay, we've got 3 cells up there on the track now though as well, so keep that one in mind. Right, it's been a while since we've been at that, so not just playing events all the time. So is this a playable non-use event? No. Is a major jihad success at poor possible? No. All the countries at poor, the other boards, there's 7 of them, 6 of them. I'm showing 7 on the marker here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, yeah, there's 7. Didn't see Central Asia up there. So all the poor countries have no cells. So there's no major jihad success possible. There's not going to be a... Well, mind you, that's... anyway, it doesn't check poor, does it? Right, is funding tight? No, funding's away at ample again. So we're up at 9. So no, sell and good or fair Muslim. Yeah, so we go Gulf States and Pakistan. Good or fair Muslim, yeah, Israel's not Muslim, right? Okay, so Gulf States, Pakistan, there's cells in either of them. India doesn't count either. So, yes. Yeah, selling good or fair. And then there's the whole where do you add success possible, when you add up and subtract the reaction and awakening markers to see if you can still actually do a jihad. Well, yeah, we can't in here, but remember, if it was only Pakistan right now, we would still go to minor jihad, and in fact, it could still end up being Pakistan, couldn't it? So, okay, we're going to minor jihad, right? We're going to attempt to do a minor jihad, and we've got the choice of Pakistan or Gulf States. So, well, we need to whittle that down, don't we? So do we go to jihad priorities then? Yeah, we've not been here before, have we? We've not been at this place before. Jihad operations do not have a priorities flowchart on the Op-P. If directed to perform, right, I'm reading this note here. If directed to perform minor jihad or major jihad, select the target country using the jihad column of the priorities table, top to bottom. Okay, so if there's more than one choice, it says there's not a flowchart involved here for jihad, so you just go directly to here, right? So between Gulf States and Pakistan, that's only what we're looking at. Is that right? Yeah, and we know that we can't do a jihad in Pakistan. However, if Pakistan comes up here, I don't know then. That's going to throw me a bit as well. If Pakistan does come up to be the priority, are you going to do the radicalisation? Or are you then going to say, well, can't do it there, got to do it there? I think maybe... Yeah, I think maybe that would be okay. Because at least there's another option. Well, let's maybe just hope that this comes up Gulf States. Right, so it's first priority is best jihad diral modifier. And again, that tells you that it's only applicable in the Awakening expansion. We're not, even though we're playing... Yeah, we're not there yet, right? Let's just leave it at that, right? Pakistan, unless no Arsenal. Okay. Right. So the priority is Pakistan. So what do I do here? What would you do, guys? Would you just say, look, we can't do it in Pakistan because of Benazir Bhutto? Do we then just revert to the Gulf States? Or do we do the radicalisation? I feel like you're saying do the jihad in the Gulf States. I feel like that's what I'm getting from you. But the thing with this is I can't really ask this question on BGG. Well, I could ask the question. I know that I'm going to get answers just saying you can't do a jihad in there, so you do it in there. That's answers I'm going to get, but I mean, it might still be the way to look at it right now. It's not that I mean, before, remember when I was doing this at first, and Tim eventually pointed out, I think you should still come here, Grant. Because if we only had Pakistan right now, right, it would be a yes, but then it would be a no because of Benazir Bhutto. And what I was doing was sort of saying, well, it can't be a yes, so let's say no. And I was just carrying on with the flowchart. But Tim pointed out that he felt we should still go here, not be able to do it, use the 3 points for radicalisation. But this time, we go here, we can't do it there, it's a priority, but we can do it here. I think you're just going to make a call for yourself here, Grant, because asking the question of BGG is not... I mean, I'd like to ask what Tim's thoughts were. Zod, maybe. Even this Jean. You know, you've got to understand how I'm playing this as well, though. That I'm playing this, that if Pakistan was the only country right now, we can't do minor jihad, but we will then radicalise. We won't then move through the flowchart ignoring the minor jihad option there, you know. Okay, I'm going to say we're going to do it in the Gulf states then. Thing is with this might chuck some sales back to the track. That doesn't matter though, does it? In fact, that would be good for us. They're going to have 3 shots of this as well. The only thing... Well, yeah, we're going to use Quagmire as a 3 ops cost. I'm just thinking if they do worsen the governance there, I needed a 2 ops. It would then turn it poor and make it a 3 ops. But Quagmire's a 3 ops anyway, and I think we've got to do what I said. We've got to play Kosovo for the event and Quagmire just to get our prestige up to +1, and not for the purpose of getting out of medium or low in the prestige track, so that Quagmire's not playable. And a regime change country has a sell. Well, actually, technically, that might not be true either. If they were to fail all 3 rolls here, 3 of the cells go back to the track. Then when we play Quagmire to remove that last cell, not only is our prestige high, there's no cells, so it can't trigger. Well, it only needs one of the conditions to make it not work, Grant. But okay, I'm gonna go for the fact we can't jihad there. It still wants to do a minor jihad, and it can do it in the Gulf states. That's what I'm going to go for. Hopefully you agree with that. It feels like... I feel like that's what you would... folk would come back with, but let me know if you would do it the other way. And probably I'm not going to be able to reverse that decision. But at least if you've got some reasoning behind it, if you let me know that as well, there's a reasoning behind why you would radicalise here instead, then at least let me know, and then I can take it on board what you said and maybe do that in the future, okay? So we're going to do a minor jihad in the Gulf states. Because it's fair, the target needs to be a non-Islamist rule Muslim country. That's major jihad, Grant, yeah, sorry. I'm thinking it doesn't need more cells and troops, but yeah, that's for the major. So, worsen governance, remove aid. There's no aid there anyway. Muslim country, not Iran, containing cells and not under Islamist rule. It contains cells, not under Islamist rule. For each role in the target country, 1 cell there must go or already be active. Well, they're all active. This is a minor jihad. Unless target conditions below for major are met. Well, they're not. Yeah, so it could start being a minor, and if they did have more cells and troops, it could move into a major, couldn't it? It could all go as 1, I think. So each success, worsen governance 1 level towards poor and remove 1 aid. Do not worsen the Islamist rule. Each failure, remove a cell to the funding track. Do not place a cadre if they remove the last cell. They're not going to do that though, because they're only getting 3. Right, their odds is 3, so they're going to roll 3 dice. They'll succeed on a 1 or a 2. So yeah, let's just do this. I mean, I'd sort of like them to fail with all 3, or at least 2. Well, no, you don't really want the governance going poor, Grant. So yeah, I do want them to fail with all 3. So we don't want to see 1s or 2s. Here we go. Oh, excellent! No successes. How about that? We were bad at that roll before recently, and there were quite a few. So 3, 1, 2, and 3. All these cells going back, sweepers, back to the track. Okay, right. Pretty sure we're gonna start seeing some of these cells coming back out again soon though. That's them got 6th back on the track now. 1 cell left there. Yeah, that would have been nice because if that gets removed by minor jihad, have they got a card still to play? They do. Technically, they might try that again. That would be sort of good, would it? No, it wouldn't. I don't want the last cell to go away. Because it's not going to leave a cadre, and that then means I can't do a disrupt there. Ugh. So I don't think I want. I want to take that last cell away. I was thinking if it went away in minor jihad, the cadre doesn't get placed, which is good for me, but it's kind of not good for me with the 3 cards that I've got left. I think it would cause trouble. Okay, that was their first card play. Yeah, and I get the feeling if this is an unplayable event, they probably are going to try that again. Okay, that definitely was their first, yeah. Oil price spike is just lapsing event there, so they didn't play it for the events, it's discarded. Oh man, it's the same again. This is going to happen, isn't it? Well, surely they're going to succeed though, and the cell will stay there. Well, you're saying surely. They've just rolled 3, not 1s or 2s. The same thing's going to happen, isn't it? So it's an unplayable, but it's a US event. So we're just going to come to the same conclusion, aren't we? Major jihad's not doable, funding's not tight, there's a sell in good or fair. Again, Pakistan and Gulf states. We can't select Pakistan, so we're going to select Gulf states. They're going to roll 3 dice. We've got 3 ops. I really kind of I want them to succeed here, I think. Because if they fail and that cell goes away, there's no way of me gaining 2 prestige. I don't think. Hold on. Do you not gain prestige by removing a cell and a non? But do I not need? No, I was saying I need troops. No, you don't need troops. Which is the bit that gains you the prestige? Is it the troops? It is the troops, isn't it? Yeah. If plus 2 troops affects 2 cells and add prestige. Oh dear. So this is the only place we can do it. Right. They're going to do a minor jihad attempt. So in actual fact, this time I want to see a 1 or a 2 on 3 of these dice. Or 1 of these 3 dice. There we go. Oof. Well, I think that's what I want. So, now hold on. No. Because it's 2 failures, it's still going back to the track. No. They needed to be all successes. That's the only way it would work for me, wouldn't it? If they'd all been 1s and 2s. Oh, this is going to be a horrible end to this turn, I think. So, 1 success, 2 failures. So, they succeed. That moves from fair to poor then, doesn't it? That's yes. Do you have this? No, hang on. Right, let's get. Oh god, I've just come back realising more the problems I'm in, I think. So a minor jihad success, however there was 2 failures. So Each success, we worsen governance one level towards poor and remove one aid. So that becomes poor. Gulf states it's still ally. Poor. So that drops, no, that goes up to 8 grand, and that drops back down to 3. That's right, yeah. So there's no aid to remove. And then next step. So each success, worsen governance one level towards poor, remove one aid. Do not worsen to Islamic show or shift alignment. Each failure, remove a cell to the funding track. Do not place a cadre. So maybe we got 2 failures and 1 success. So, I mean, or can you say this is a success? No. I trying to get out of this hole that I'm in. I don't think so. I think it's making me wonder a little bit though. Because for the success you wouldn't remove it, but then every one of the die rolls were. Is that right? Did I still roll 3 dice there? I was feeling that was okay. That felt like it was right. But there's only 1 cell. Should I just be using 1 ops there? And rolling 1 dice? Yeah, okay, that's me back again. Yeah, I've got this wrong, haven't I? I looked at BGG and it looks like... Because somebody says for each die roll you need to move a cell to active. Or already have cells active. Somebody corrected that. It can be that as long as there's a cell active. But it's for each die roll there needs to be a cell. So I can only roll 1 dice here. 8.4 was what was highlighted there for this. I mean, maybe that's where I should have looked. For the actual... Now this is the... old rule book, but no, this is relevant, yeah. So jihad, I've not tried to do this before, have I? Yeah, jihad. At least 1 cell must be present in each target country for each roll made there. At least 1 cell must be present in each target country for each roll made there. Well, there is 1 cell there, but I mean, I could have used each roll 3 rolls. Each successful roll worsens governance. Removes aid. Note that unless conditions for major jihad are met, jihad operation cannot be. I still feel like. And here's next page. Each failed jihad roll removes a cell at the funding track. Do not place a cadre. Right, now there's jihad examples here. A, B, and C. Let me see if we can. Maybe one of the examples might help me out. So, first example says. This should be simple as well. I don't know why I'm having trouble with this, but there are 2 cells in a country at good, and all other cells are in non-Muslim or Islamic rule countries. Jihadists play a 3 card. Okay. So that's good. This is going to answer it for me. The jihadists play a 3 ops card for jihad, but can only use 2 of the 3 ops value. Both cells go active. The rolls are 1 and a 4. The die roll of 1 is a success and worsen governance to fair, while the die roll of 4 is a failure and causes 1 cell to be removed. Okay, so we can only roll 1 dice. I'm going to have to re-roll this again then, because I rolled 2 5s and a 1. So, we could still get away with this. We want... you're going to have to roll a success. Yeah, I feel like I should have to roll the dice again. Then I can't just say that it was a success because it suits me here. I mean, generally it wouldn't suit me, obviously, but well, let's just jump these back as well. I mean, I might be moving them back anyway, but down. Right, I might be moving them back anyway, because we've got to roll a 1 or a 2 on 1 dice. So yeah, I can only use 1, but the thing is here, remember, I'm only using 1 of the 3 ops. If that allows me 2 ops left, and can I use the reserves as well for the radicalization bit? I wonder if you should maybe just have a look at the solo side of things here, Grant. Just how you deal with jihad. I don't think minor jihad. Perform the operation to maximum extent possible. If less than 3 total ops. Perform the operation to maximum extent possible in the selected country. Activating any sleeper cells necessary and using the card's ops first and then jihadist reserves. If less than 3 total ops plus reserve were used in the first target country, continue their operation by returning to the op flowchart and priorities tables to identify the country with the next highest priority. Yeah, so, and then if ops remain and no further countries are eligible, proceed to radicalization. I want to never only use reserves. Well, it's on the next page. If the jihadist bot performs no operation or an operation using fewer ops than the card's ops value, perform radicalization as follows with any remaining ops using reserves. So it can actually use 1 of these ops here and then get another 3 into its radicalization. However, what did spring to mind there as well when I was reading that although we can roll ones here, if there was any other countries that we could do minor jihad in, we would do them elsewhere. Right now, if Benazir Bhutto wasn't there, we would have been doing it all in Pakistan. But, you know, we can roll 1 here and we can then look at rolling the others elsewhere. However, there's not any Muslim countries, other Muslim countries that contain cells and are not under Islamist rule, is there? No. Caucasus, Israel and India are not Muslim countries, and that's the only place that sells. Okay, right, we're going to come back to this. We're going to only use 1 of the ops to roll 1 dice, and yeah, in actual fact, I still actually do want this to be a success, I think. Strangely, but right, so it's a 1 or a 2 at once, and we get a 3, so it fails. It's still got 2 ops left, so it's going to do other things. Whether that might help me out to be able to do some of these cards. So this failed, so that stays fair. This goes back to the track as well. Yeah, and the first time we done the roll, there was 3 cells, and we removed. They all failed, and they all went the track. Yeah, this is where I caught that. That was a huge blunder there, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Right, okay, so 2 ops left. This is its second card play. I wish this wasn't happening, because I really kind of need to go now. Oh, come on, Grant. You're only at an hour or so. Right, so we're now going to move on to radicalization with the other 2 ops. And in fact, we're going to grab the reserves. In fact, can we not just take that now? Yeah, let's just take it now, because they're going to use it. I mean, unless they run out here. But they're not. It's unlikely. So, right, 2 notes to take note on. Never only use reserves for radicalization. Well, we're not doing that. We're using 2 ops that we had left over and then adding the reserves to get 3. And then note a cell on the map is eligible only once, blah, blah, blah. If it's on the map just now, it can only be used once. Right, first, if any sales are in the US and one or more WMD plots are available, plot in the US with as many sales as possible. There is no sales in the US, there's no WMDs. If US posture is hard, yeah, here we go. It is, and there is no global war and terror relations penalty, there is not, travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries as possible, one cell each, choosing the origin first using the travel from priorities of the Op-P. Okay, well, we've done this before, and this is to try and get a global war and terror penalty by converting some country, well, getting some countries soft posture, isn't it? So, right, so we want to find, now we've got 3, we can do this 3 times. So, yeah. So we want to find the origin first, using the travel from priorities. Okay, origin first, travel from priorities. Where are we? Yeah, so here, yeah? Or is it just the table we're looking at here? I don't think so. Yeah, it says on this wee thing, just I was wondering here, if US hard, travel to unmarked non-Muslim, choose as many destinations as possible. Yeah, who's the one to try and really mess with the global war and terror relations. Right, so I've got to find the from first though. So I want to find, yeah, hold on, it's coming to me now. We're wanting unmarked non-Muslim countries. Yeah, because we want to check the posture. Unmarked non-Muslim countries. Right, the first priority to travel from is adjacent. Okay, so is there any unmarked non-Muslim countries adjacent to a place where we've got cells? Pakistan, Iran, remember, it's not Muslim and it's not Muslim and it's not non-Muslim. So that doesn't count. Other adjacency, you can see Pakistan actually is adjacent to this is Muslim. So it's got nothing adjacent. India is adjacent, but it's already been done, right? So where else have we got cells? Well, that's only Muslim country that we've got cells. Not that was part of the thing. India could be another one because it's got a cell. Is it adjacent? It's only adjacent to a Muslim country, well, and Pakistan. So going up here, right, this is where we're going to be looking then. I don't think Israel as well. Israel is adjacent to only Muslim countries. So no, however, Caucasus here is adjacent to Russia. Okay? So that's going to be the target of our travel from, because it's adjacent, and it's the only one. So I don't need to break that down any further. So this is going to automatically travel, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. That's what it's going to do. Right, so we're going to travel, and because that's the reason it's taken adjacent, because it's like automatic. So this travels from here to Russia. That's one of our points used. I'm just going to use the dice here on the card, just to say that we've still got 2 ops left here of the radicalization. Right, so we travelled to Russia, and now we need to test Russia's posture. Okay, so posture. So a 1 to 4 it's soft, a 5 to 6 it's hard, and well, we want a 5 to 6. Here we go. Oh yes, how about it? Right, okay, well that's good. So it's hard. Where are we? So Russia's posture comes into the game tested. Its posture is hard, which means that goes to there, giving us a bit of breathing space. That's good. Right, then moving back, it's still wanting to test more. It's still wanting to do. It can still do 2 more. However, we've now not got adjacent. And remember, this cell can't start travelling further. It's been used in this radicalisation. So that's that. So the next priority would be to travel from an auto-recruit country. I don't think we've got that. No, this is not auto-recruit. Remember, regime change is auto-recruit and Islamist rules auto-recruit. I think that's only 2 in the base game. The other ones are the training camps and something else. Can't remember what the other one is. Anyway, so none of these are auto-recruit. So, and then the third travel option is where there's the fewest cells. Now stop. When we left the Caucasus, because it's a travel, no cadres placed. I'm sure that's right, Grant. I'm sure that's right. I'm sure we read that earlier. It's only if it's with event or recruit. No, not recruit. Disrupt or event. It says, no, hang on. Whenever the last cell in a country without a cadre is removed by disrupt or event, not jihad or travel, place a cadre there. So we were doing a travel, so there's no cadre placed there. Right, good. So what was it doing? Travel from the fewest cells. Okay, well, it's not going to look at Pakistan. So it's going to look at India and Israel. So Pakistan's still holding all these cells that are doing it very little good. Why would it want to take the fewest cells? Travel from the country with the fewest cells. Oh, only travel the last cell out if I'm not a recruit. Well, it wasn't a recruit. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's going to use the one in Israel and then the one in India. Now, doesn't matter what order you take these in. Probably not, Grant. Travel from. I'm just looking at this chart myself. Not US, most active cells, not regime change. I don't think we're going to find something here with the lowest rec. Nah, there's no difference between the two, right? I'm going to randomise 1, 2, 3 for Israel, 4, 5, 6 for India. I'm just going to do this off camera. It's a 4, right? So we're going to do India first. I don't think it matters, but so he's going to travel from India to where? Well, we don't know where because it can't do adjacent. Well, obviously we're looking for travel from adjacent. So it's wanting to move. Yeah, it's wanting to move to a non-Muslim country. All right. Travel to as many unmarked. It's an unmarked non-Muslim country. Yeah, okay. So it's going to travel to. I suppose we have to go here first. It doesn't really say anything there, so yeah. Put Muslim 1 to 4 more. Well, no, it can't be Muslim because it's got to be a non-Muslim. No, it's got to be non-Muslim. Right, we have to stop there and look here. Right, okay. So travel to non-Muslim. No. Baziz regime, no, they're Muslim. Syria, Iran, Muslim. Well, Iran's not, but we know that thing. Right, the US. Yeah, so it's going to attempt to travel to the US. Okay. And now, hang on. The US is tested. It's got a posture, though, so it can't be the US. Travel to as many unmarked non-Muslim countries as possible. So it's not going to do that because the purpose of this is to try and get countries coming up soft. So I'm assuming the US can't be a target because it's marked as hard. Yeah, I think that's fine. So not the US. Poor then, fair then, good. Okay. Is there any fair non-Muslim countries? There is. China, Thailand. That's been tested. That's marked. We've got Kenya, Tanzania. I've been forgetting about these two as well. I don't think they've come into it though, have they? I don't think so. I don't think we've missed any in there. So these are fair. Remember, it says poor then, fair then, good. And so this is unchecked. China and Thailand are unchecked. So there's 3 of them. Because the rest of them up there are all good. Yeah, and like I say, they're all marked yellow. That's what Jean picked up on. So there's 1, 2, no, sorry, not Iran. 1, 2, 3. So breaking that down any further, can I break that down any further? That was poor then fair. Highest resource. Well, these don't have resources, do they? No. So that doesn't apply. Russia, we've already got one in Russia and it's checked. No disrupt prestige gain. I think all that means is if there was troops and you were sending a cell to that country, then we would have the chance to disrupt the cell and gain prestige. Yeah, so none of these apply to that. If recruit, highest rec, well, we're not recruiting, we're travelling. Best GIDRN, that doesn't apply. Same posture as US, well, no, because we're going for unmarked. Most cells, there's no cells in any countries. Adjacent Islamist rule, there's no Islamist rule. Oil exporter, right, there's none of them. They're not oil exporters. Okay, I've got 3 countries that India's going to try and travel to. None of them are adjacent, obviously. I mean, that kind of looks adjacent, but it's not. It's not connected. So I'm going to say that Kenya, Tanzania is 1, 2. China's 3, 4. And Thailand's 5, 6. Okay. 6. Right. Thailand's the last one. So India. Oh, this is an attempt, isn't it? Sorry, this is an attempt. So he's going to try and travel to Thailand. Oh, man. So, and then when you travel, you have to roll on this, don't they? Does it not in the, play rate grant? Travel, move cells, set active to sleeper, any destination, to adjacent or within the same country, automatic success, we're not doing that. Move a cell to target country if it succeeds and set it to sleeper. Each failure, remove a set to the funded track. Okay. So he's going to attempt to travel to Thailand. We've got to roll. Thailand's fair, so it's got to roll 1 dice, and it's looking for a 1 or a 2 to succeed. It gets a 6, fails, so it goes back to the track. Right, and then that's me got 1 ops left, and we're going to travel. Remember, it's going to be Israel because it's got a few cells. And yeah, we just cycle through the exact same things. It's either going to be Kenya, China, or Thailand again, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to, again, Kenya, Tanzania's 1, 2. China's 3, 4. Thailand's 5, 6. Right, we got 3, so it's China this time. So this cell is going to attempt to travel to China. Again, it needs to roll a 1 or a 2. 1 dice. And succeeds. That's not good then. So that cell moves from Israel, succeeds to China. and we test, well, sorry, we set China's posture. Again, it's 1 to 4 soft, or what we want, a 5 or a 6. And this time it is soft. Well, but we had that little breathing space, so that one is going to be soft. Okay, and that was the last ops used over radicalization. And sorry, we forgot one thing. That's going to knock that back down to 0. So we got away with that. They're trying to mess with our global war and terror relations. That's used up all the ops. It did use the reserves as well. 2 cards not played for event get discarded. Oil price spike still lapsing there. That's it. This video's going on a bit longer than we need. We are stuck with these 3 cards though. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm not able to get my prestige out of medium, I don't think. I think we're going to have to suffer this. Because I don't want to suffer this. Oh, hang on. US randomly discards 2 cards. What else? So if we kept this to our last card. Yeah, US posture is soft though. It wouldn't damage us that much. Well, in all honesty, we only need to be hard to do the regime change, and we're not needing to do a regime change. Okay, well, I'm going to have time to think about it. That's going to have to take a break for now. I've got a few things to do. Hopefully going to get back for another part, though, before the end of the day. At least 1, maybe even 2. We'll see. What is the time? 2:15. Yeah, I've got a few hours left before I need to, panic and do... Yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to wrap that up there, and I'll be back later with the next part. Okay, cheers.